Okay, hopefully okay, I can see y'all too. All right, perfect. Sorry about that. So I'm Melissa Shaver, Emerald Ambassador, and this is the Gem Explosion team call. And tonight we are going to be talking about belief, and more so than that, commitment. So I want us to briefly go over a few pieces on belief, but then we're stepping straight into commitment tonight. And the big piece about belief is that you really do, it's so essential that you believe in this company, in the products, in network marketing as far as an industry, as well as in yourself. And I love this from our Diamond Ambassador, Tamara Holloway. She says, belief doesn't come from success, but success comes from belief. So you have to have belief first before you see success. And I think for so many of us, we really do live that backwards of thinking, well, when I get some success or whenever I am successful, my belief system will be strong and foundational, when actually that's just the opposite of that. You have to have the belief first and foremost for the success to come. So why Plexus? One thing is that you have to, especially if you're a brand new ambassador, but also, there can be ambassadors that have been with us for months and their belief system is still really not strong as to the importance of believing in this company and the things that this company has to offer. We are truly unique. Plexus, our executives will tell you that the goal of Plexus is to create a legacy company that gets it right. We're very, very passionate about doing it the right way, doing the way that it could be done and should be done, but rarely is. Our CEO, Tara Robinson, speaks that all the time. He grew up in network marketing. He's been around it all of his life. He's participated in different companies, and now whenever he made the decision to purchase Plexus, to be the CEO of Plexus, this was a big piece for him, and it really is the foundation of why he does what he does with this company. So you need to understand that you have unlimited earning power and incredible freedom. You have the ability to build this business your way, and we're going to talk about that tonight. We have an amazing compensation plan. If you haven't heard me say it before, we have a compensation plan. It's called a hybrid, which means that we created a compensation plan from several different plans in the industry and brought it together. The sole focus of our compensation plan is the ambassador and what's best for the ambassador. As you know, we are paid 11 different ways. That can seem overwhelming, and for many people that just start the company, that might seem far-fetched and you might be skeptical around it, but we literally are paid 11 different ways, and that's why people can see immediately, as soon as they start working the business, they can see the rewards of the compensation plan. And that is why we have the unlimited earning power, and understanding that you are able to create and build your business the way that you desire to build it, and the earning potential behind that, there is no ceiling on that. So we really do, this company sets you up for success. And then another reason of why Plexus and having a belief system in who we are is in our products. Our products work. Now, if you're new to the business, new to the products, the first thing that your sponsor will always say is, first and foremost, you have to trust that person. You trusted them to try the products, and you're trusting them through this opportunity. But the things that I want you to hear about our products is, number one, our testimonies are the greatest benefit that we have of the life-changing benefits of these products and the things that they do. I personally, if you've not heard my story, I'm not going to spend time tonight on that, but full life change for me of my health from 3.5 years ago of who I was prior to Plexus and who I am today. We have less than a 1% return rate on our products, which shows you the benefit of how they work. And I believe that our company they know what is in our products and the quality of ingredients that we have in our products, so much so that we have a 60-day money-back guarantee. And that 60 days is a rolling 60 days, so that can be at any time of you taking the products. And so you need to believe in that, but you also need to have confidence when you're sharing this with other people and you're asking them to make that 60, 90, 120-day commitment so that they can really see the changes and the benefits. You need to have a confidence in that 60-day money-back guarantee as well. So a little bit more about why Plexus and why network marketing. We are a debt-free company. Plexus Slim is our flagship product. Hopefully everyone on this call knows that that is our famous pink drink, and it was introduced in 2009, and its sole focus is on stabilizing our blood sugar levels. It also lowers your lipids, and it can lower your cholesterol. It has a wonderful anti-inflammatory ingredient in it, as well as chromium, and it is sweetened with stevia. So those are some of the big pieces of key benefits that you want to remember whenever you're sharing the pink drink with friends and family. We had our first $2 million day back in October of 2013, right whenever I was getting started with this company, and it's been a whirlwind ever since. We did start in Inc. 500 as number 8 of the fastest growing companies. And in that time period, it was in the period that we were having the highest amount of growth, which was 16,000+ % of growth. And so you can just see, because of the growth, because of what we've done over, goodness, now we're going on our 8th year since the Slim was introduced, and we just continue to get better and better with our services, our back office, our turnaround time, the way that we share, the way that we're learning how to be able to share with other people. It only is getting better. And the thing that I love the best, if you're really sitting here wondering about your belief system, the company, the industry, all those different pieces, anytime that you're looking to start a new business, especially in network marketing, you need to look at the products. There are so many companies that are just popping up everywhere right now. Many of us have seen that over the last 6 months. We've seen a lot of network marketing companies in our different areas and regions. But what we all need to understand, and how you really need to educate people whenever you share with them, is that if you're wanting to start a business, you really do need to look at your product. And is that product sustainable? Is it a product that people will need every single month? Is it products that go across all generations, across all genders, and all ethnic lines? And I think that that is what makes me so passionate about getting to represent a health and wellness company like Plexus, is because literally my audience is the world. It is the world. It's not just females. It's not just males. It's not females between the ages of 15 and 60. It's not a criteria of any kind of percentages down to. Literally, it's across all generations, all ages, all ethnicities. And so that is huge for you if you are really, really serious about starting and building a business. So let's talk a little bit about why network marketing and why your belief should be strong in the industry that you have chosen to participate in. And this is another piece that I am really passionate towards and I have such a heart for, because my background is in traditional corporate America. And so started in corporate America, moved into nonprofit, and now I'm in network marketing. And I want everyone to understand the fullness of all of it, because I've experienced it myself and I know the power of network marketing. So in traditional business, in nonprofits, anywhere that you are receiving that paycheck, you are literally trading your hours of life, your time, for a paycheck. And with network marketing, it's residual income that it comes on a continual monthly basis, whether you are working the business or you're on vacation with your family or you're sleeping in or you're doing a new hobby and, you know, climbing the tallest mountain in the world. I mean, you're going to receive that income. And that is huge to understand. The big piece for this that was like a really big eye opener for me, two different things. One is, for many of us, if you work in traditional corporate America, it's your salary is based on a 40-hour week, but most probably you're working over 40 hours. Some people 50 to 60 hours a week, but your paycheck is still 40 hours. And your commitment and the expectation of your boss is to put in those hours so that the projects can be done. And I remember speaking with a dear friend who is a beautician and sharing, you know, her hours reflected her paycheck. And so as a beautician, you had to be behind the chair cutting the hair. So anytime you're on vacation, anytime you have a child that is sick, if you want to take some time off to be able just to have a day away, you will see really the consequence of that by your next paycheck. And so with network marketing, it's totally different from that. It is you networking, you meeting people, you bringing them along, and it is a multiplication of everyone doing the work and seeing the residual income. Another thing of the difference between corporate and network marketing is your salary and your promotion ceiling. There is a ceiling for how much money that you can make in traditional work. There's always salary ranges, and no matter your experience or your level of degrees, if that job is within a specific area, it's within a specific salary range. The same thing with promotions and the amount that you get. The same thing with raises. Traditionally, if you do get an annual raise, that raise is usually around 3 to 5% a year. But with network marketing, it's unlimited earning, which is amazing to see that literally you can get a promotion every single month. You can get a pay increase every single month. So there's a huge difference between the two. And then just real quickly, you have time constraints with traditional work versus time freedom. So the constraints are, if you're in traditional work, and you're putting in that many hours for your paycheck, for your job, you get very little time with friends, with family, with vacations, with doing the things that you love and your passions. And that's usually where you see people come to a place where they don't dream anymore, come to the place where it really is just maintaining and getting through a day, because they're exhausted for the work that they're putting in and not having the freedom of just even regrouping and refueling and just enjoying life. But from network marketing, you have freedom in that to be able to go and do and enjoy the things that you want to do. I mean, today is a huge day for me to even think about with that. Many of you guys know that we had a contest, and over the weekend, a group of leaders went away for the weekend to retreat, to refuel, to learn new things, and to develop and to really just grow in our relationships. And so today, I had the time freedom to really pull back and to refuel and to rest and just to do some things that was just at a slower pace and slower motion. And all day long, all I could think was, thank goodness I have the job and the career that I have, that I get to schedule my time and my days and the things that I want to do. I have full freedom in that. Another thing that's the difference between the two is what I say is boss bondage or team temperament. Whenever you work in traditional work styles, you don't get to choose your boss. Your boss chooses you. And oftentimes, if there's conflict there, it's you that has to figure out the conflict if you want to keep the job. And you don't get to choose your team. So depending on their personalities and just who they are, that temperament, it might really, really rub you the wrong way. But you know what? You got to live with it because you need the job to pay the bills. But In network marketing, you get to have creative thinking. You get to develop your own team. You get to choose your business partners and what that looks like. And then just lastly, the round hole square peg. That really does come into a lot of times in traditional work. You really do get stuck of just doing one specific thing and not being able to expand out of that. And you can expand in doing your own business. So just believing in what we have in the company, in the products, in network marketing as an industry, begin to have confidence in what you are doing today. And so just, continuing of who network marketing is, and this was all stuff that I had to study 3.5 years ago whenever I started this business, and the excitement that I had from it. But we are, at this point, I'm sure we're over $170 billion industry. This was from a study that I did 3 years ago out of a Time magazine that did an article. We have over 74 million home-based businesses. They say that every 10 seconds, a home-based business is beginning. But this is going to triple. This industry and home-based businesses will triple within the next decade. Average work-from-home income is right around $60,000 a year. And that 20% of those home-based entrepreneurs, their reported earnings are $100,000 to $500,000 a year. The great thing about network marketing is that you design your business. You build it your way. You get to pick your partners. And the greatest piece is that literally you can work from your laptop and, like me, from your iPhone, and you're in business. You're ready to go. So you have this belief. You need to build that belief. If you are new, or if you're struggling in any way, just saying, I've got some doubt, I'm not 100% sure, my recommendation for you is that you work with your upline, you talk to your upline, you really get into community. Do not live on an island. Get into community, hear the stories, be encouraged, ask the questions of your people to get that belief. Also, we have tons of training. You can go to YouTube. Pretty much every jewel has a YouTube channel. You can learn from them. Also, network marketing itself as an industry, there's so many trainings on YouTube that you can go and do research on. So I would really say, kind of buckle in and really start getting some training and get some things under you so that you can have that confidence and that belief. So let's talk a little bit about commitment. Because this is where you really need to move as you are building your business. Commitment means to fully be dedicated and loyal to a cause or to an activity. And we're going to be talking specifically in regards to your business with Plexus. And I love this quote that we see here, that there's a difference between interest and commitment. When you're interested in doing something, you do it when it's convenient, but when you're committed to something, you accept no excuses, only results, and you literally are all in, you go for it. I also love in Proverbs 16:3, it says, commit your work unto the Lord and watch your plans succeed. Commitment is the key for you to be successful in this business. So I want you just real quickly to kind of ask yourself a couple of these questions. I want you to ask, right now, you don't have to answer me, but you ask yourself, are you committed? Are you all in? Are you 100%? Or are you dabbling? Where are you? Where do you sit? Because I promise you, the results that you see day after day, month after month, it will be defined by this right here. So is what you're doing now getting you any closer to where you want to be? What you're doing today, what you did today with your business, did you work your business today for 15 minutes, 30 minutes, or did you not do it? Because one way or the other, you're either going to get closer to where you want to be, or you're going to get further behind. And so my big question is, if you're not committed, if you're not all in, I'd love for you, if you've got pen and paper, to just like for a few minutes, just write down, what is it that's holding you back? Is it your belief? And hopefully some of the things that I covered fairly quickly, some of those things I hope will resonate to build that belief. If it is your belief, will you just make a commitment now to even reach out to your upline or talk to me? Like, let's have a conversation around that so we can work through some of those pieces. But you have to make that decision, and you have to be honest with yourself. So let's talk about being committed. Where do you want to go with your Plexus business? Now, this is a really big question, and only you can answer it. But what I want you to hear more than anything is that whatever that is it's acceptable and it's enough. If it's enough for you, the greatness of what we do is that you define your business. So for many people, it's to pay for their product. For others, they need $500 a month and they're comfortable. That's what they need to maybe make some ends meet. Others, it's right at around $1,000 is kind of their goal, and that's where they want to go with their business, so that maybe they can stay home with kiddos or just stay home. But then others, guys, like y'all want to go all the way. Y'all want to be diamond, and you know that you can, but you are the one who can define that. So kind of write that down, where you want to go, where you want to be, and what plan do you have in place? What plan do you have in place for yourself? And what plan do you have in place for your team? So let's just talk a little bit about that real quick. How do you plan your day? When you say, Melissa, I am committed, I am all in, what I would say to you is let's get a plan into place. In fact, I was talking with some different ones tonight that we're setting up some Zoom calls of my one-on-ones with my leaders, of really sitting down and saying, let's build the plan, and what does that look like? First and foremost is that you have to have a daily method of operation. That's your DMO. It's when you are scheduling your time to work your business. And we all look a little bit different with that. For some of us, that has to be early in the morning or at lunchtime or in the evenings because we work full time. For others, we have kiddos, and it is literally at stolen moments throughout the day because our house is a little bit chaotic. And for others of us, we really do get some time where we can block out time every single day to work our business, and we kind of have those business hours. Everyone's different, and everyone, that's good for whatever is going on in your season of life. But what I would highly recommend is that you really set down a power hour. And that power hour, that's really all you need to work your business. So that can be done in a couple of different ways. It can be a blocked time of one specific hour a day or evening, or it can be in increments of 15 minutes 4 times a day. Once again, you're going to know what's best. But this is what I want you to do with that power hour. I want you to reach out to friends and family, share Plexus with them, share the opportunity, share what the products can do for their health. I want you to, in that power hour, to be following up with people that maybe you talked with over the last couple of weeks, answer questions for people. And then lastly, I want you to train yourself, and I want you to train your team and spend some time in that space of being able to train at least one of your ambassadors, get them going, get them moving forward, and always training yourself. Another thing is in that power hour, that is when you're doing your income producing activities, which is everything I was just talking about. So if you were to say to me, Melissa, I literally only have 1 hour a day, and that's it, and that's pretty much stretching me because I'm full-time, I'm a mom, I'm a dad, we've got lots of sports, we've got lots going on. What I would tell you to do is in that hour, you need to do what's income producing for you. And that is talking to people about the opportunity, sharing about the products, getting your level 1, so the people that you sponsored, getting them up and running so that they can be doing their business. You need to be working on the things that will bring in that residual income. So make sure that you're really smart about the way that you use your time, okay? You don't need a lot of time, but you need focused time. So make sure that you're using that time and focusing. Another thing that I'm always sharing is to make sure that you've set a routine of just a morning ritual. And guys, this is important no matter who you are, what you're doing, what your business looks like. This is for you to be your best you. So a morning ritual is what you do every single morning to be ready for your day, to be the best you, to be able to give everything that you've committed to. And that looks different once again for everyone, but what they say is over, studies and over periods of time, that if you are doing a morning ritual, that's where you're going to be able to see success. So that could be, especially whenever it comes to doing your business, getting up every morning, either working out or maybe reading the paper or watching the news, maybe having a quiet time or prayer time, or reading a book about self-development, brushing your teeth, taking a shower, doing affirmations of, who I am worthy, I am significant, I'm a great leader and I lead my team well. Whatever those affirmations are, we've talked so much about those, really doing those things and setting yourself up to be prepared to set out for your full day. And so make sure that you've got that in place as well, so that you can be fully committed to whatever your day and whatever your schedule looks like. So be willing to give full effort, full energy, full focus, and time to make it happen. If you are committed to this business, be all in. Treat your network marketing business like a job. You need to set your hours. You need to show up every day. You need to hold yourself accountable. And to make it happen, what is it? This is your why. Why are you doing this business? Why did you set yourself to even start sharing this opportunity and start sharing these products? What is it that you're running after? Be all in and keep running after it and stay in your lane, right? So treat this like a business, not a hobby. So I want us to talk a little bit about what it looks like to have commitment in your business. Okay, so this is where we're going to spend the rest of our time tonight. The first thing is to see the good in everything. You need to be focusing on the solutions, not on the problems. You need to focus on what you can control, not what you can't control. You've got to allow no room in your mind for negative thinking. Stinking thinking isn't good if you're committed to this business and you're all in and you're wanting to be successful. That's where your affirmations come in. That's where you have good self-talk. You don't have room. As soon as you see a problem and you start talking negative of, this always happens, or I can't believe that this happened to my day, or, so-and-so didn't do what they were supposed to do, and now look at what happened. As soon as you do that, you start going downhill. You've got to look at the positive. You've got to focus on the solution. Be a good problem solver. Don't focus on the problem and make excuses. Your business has many aspects to it. There will always be highs and lows. There are always things in our business that we absolutely love doing, and there's areas of our business that we wish we never had to do at all. And that all falls in line with our strengths and our weaknesses and what we're good at and what we're not great at. But when you're the CEO of your business, you get to do it all. And so you need to respect every area and to be able to see that it's all for the good. You've got to see the wholeness of it. The second thing is that you've got to risk failing. You've got to risk failure, okay? So let fear motivate you, not take you captive. If you have fear in front of you, you need to be motivated to be able to push through it and to get on the other side and to conquer it, because it births confidence in you. It births courage in you. Do not allow it to stifle you, to paralyze you, to shut you down. Fear will make you shrink from your dreams. It will make you shut down your dreams. So be a risk taker. You've got to view the word no and people responding to you with no and that fear of that no. You've got to view that as a prompting for a new opportunity in the future that you weren't expecting. You've heard us talk so many times about the book, Go for No. And that book says that every day you need to go for so many no's a day. At Rally Cry this last month, we said to go for 2 no's every single day because it is prompting you to know that there is a yes in your future. You just got to continue to turn over those rocks until you find it. Let it motivate you because a lot of this business is a numbers game. So learn to speak up with confidence and go after what you don't want. Don't let risk get in the way of that. The next thing is that you've got to work hard. You need to measure your success by your work ethic. Be the best you. My big question is always, would you hire you today? I want to be my very best. I want to be a person that someone wants to hire me. And I tell you what, I want to be my best. I don't want to be someone that a team would go, wow, like I wish that she was different, or I wish she'd be committed, or I wish that she'd put forth every piece of effort. I literally want to be that person every single day. So you need to ask yourself a question. Today, in the business that you did today for your Plexus business, were you all in and were you committed, or did you literally do nothing today and would you have been fired? You need to be your very best. Your success shouldn't be focused on how much money you make, but how many lives you are impacting. You are working hard because you are impacting the lives around you. It is a ripple effect. You are going out and impacting lives for quality of life, for health and wellness, for future financial opportunities for those families. And when you are focused on impacting their lives for their good, I promise you, the money will come. You will be successful. But if you only focus on money and you only focus on getting people on your team or getting customers because you want the bottom line financial piece, I promise you, you will always be disappointed. You will always be frustrated. And you will always be questioning if you should be doing this business because you're not focused in the right place. This is a caring business. This is a relationship business. This is really giving and serving others and focusing in those areas. So work hard to be able to do that and measure your results by how much you're impacting. So the question is, are you reaching out and sharing this life-changing opportunity? Are you sharing it with people because people need it? So work hard. The next thing is expand. You've got to expand yourself, which is self-development, which is getting out of your comfort zone, really being a risk taker and conquering fear. You've got to expand your goals. Be grateful for what you have, but don't be satisfied. Always be going after the next thing. Always be developing yourself and growing yourself. If you are focused on growing yourself, the goals will come and you will accomplish them, but you won't stop. You'll be going after the next goal. So always expand in that area. When you achieve a goal or a promotion, always ask what's next. Be motivated whenever you conquer those goals, whenever you accomplish those promotions, knowing that the sky is the limit, and always be going after the next. Expand yourself. Don't sit back whenever you've promoted. Don't sit back when you feel like, wow, I got somebody to join my team. No, you need to say, who needs to join? Who's the next person that I'm going to talk to that needs this opportunity? So never downsize your dreams. Always know that it can be as big as you are willing to go after. Always be expanding. Okay, so what does commitment look like? I asked Marie Farley to come and speak to y'all for a few minutes tonight. And I want to share with you, Marie is, I am privileged to say that she's a friend. She's a business partner. She is my level 2. She is a rock star in every capacity of the word. But whenever I was thinking about commitment, it's like her name is the definition of commitment. And so I wanted her to share a little bit. But whenever I met Marie, she had already been using the products for a while. But this is what is so impressive to me. When Marie said, I'm all in, which was a little bit over a year ago, I believe, she literally was all in, and she has never, ever, 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 ever looked back. If you were to look at, what does commitment mean? And I said, it's being a risk taker and really seeing failure right in front of you and running over it. It is being all in. It is expanding yourself and expanding your goals. It is looking for the good. Everything that I've already defined and we've talked through, like she is the definition of that. And so, Marie, if you can unmute yourself, I would love for you just to share a little bit of some things that happened over the weekend. This is actually a picture right here of Marie. She actually climbed kind of like a totem pole that was really, really high up and got on this incredibly small plank and was fully all in. And I've asked her to share a little bit of just the weekend commitment, what it means, all of that great stuff. So Marie, I'm going to hand it over to you.
Wow, thank you. Yeah, when I decided to first of all go for the leadership retreat, I wasn't gold yet, and that was one of the requirements. And I could have easily looked at all that was being asked and said, I can't do it. This is not the right time. I don't have enough people on my team. I don't have a runner. I could have used lots of excuses, but instead, I saw potential. I saw an opportunity to go for something, and so I started contacting a bunch of people and earned the trip. And honestly, when I was even going for it, when they said it was going to be at Sky Ranch, one of my first thoughts was, I'm 53. I've had an injury. They're going to ask us to do all this, extreme sports stuff that I'm not going to do. And I thought, why am I going for this? Because I'm going to have to bow out of all this stuff. And so I just decided, you know what, you only live once, and like if I earn this, when I earn this retreat, I'm going to be all in. And if they say, climb a telephone pole and stand on top of it, I'm going to do it. If they, and honestly, Melissa didn't require that, but it was brought up. Hey, what are we going to go do for activities? And somebody said that, and I said, yeah, let's go do it. And we zip lined and we did all sorts of stuff that I would have told you I would never in a million years do. But I just decided I was going to do it. Well, once I decided to do it, we're standing there. The rain comes, it's windy. And what you can't see in that picture is how freaking wobbly it is on top of that thing. It is literally, swaying all over the place. And, it really, 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 even looking at that picture freaks me out, because I still, actually, it was a lot to climb up there and do that. But I think if I had not done it, if I had decided, what, God's telling me not to do it, that's why he sent the rain, I could have easily come up with all sorts of reasons, excuses, but I didn't. And I went on and went up there, and I was able to do it because of our team. I really do believe if the team had not been saying, you've got this, you can do it, we know you can do it, because I was, the other thing you don't see in this picture is how long I was frozen on my knees, grasping that plank, not wanting to stand up, just being like, I'm stuck. I really, truly cannot stand up. And they were, I could hear them. And when you're looking straight down off that plank, which I was specifically told not to do, and I did it anyway, stupidly. You see, 40 feet down, the ground you're going to die on. And so, they're all going, you can do it, you can do it. And it was their words of encouragement that helped me finally let go of that grip and stand up, because I didn't know if I had the balance to do it. I didn't know if I had the strength to do it. I didn't know if my 53-year-old knees would do it. There were all sorts of things that could have kept me from even trying, and just rolled right off of there and let the guy catch me off the little rope, you know. But the team helped me do it. And so, you know, I hope we all know that we all have cheerleaders around us in our team that want to help. If you're all in, they're all in. You know, especially all of our uplines, you know, if you're all in, they're all in. They're going to work with you. And so, you know, if you're ready to take your business to the next level, speak that. You know, let them know that you're ready, because they're not gonna bug you. They're not gonna annoy you. They're gonna be there if you want it. So I'm really so glad that I was a part of that weekend. I grew in so many ways. It was just so uplifting and so encouraging, and it really made us think about what we're doing and why we're doing it, and how to love people well. And I really appreciate the opportunity, Melissa and Michelle.
Yeah, absolutely. Guys, I mean, there's something about in anything, whether it is climbing a totem pole that is so incredibly high that literally is wobbling because of the height and because of the wind, but making a commitment early on, months ago, to say, when I get this, I'm all in and I'm going to do everything. And then literally, you know, at the points of rain in question, because the rain made everything slick. So everything of going up that pole and grabbing the different pegs that were on the side of the pole to even get out, everything was wet at that point. But she was all in, and she said, I'm going to see the good. I know that this is going to grow me. I know that I'm going to push through some fears. And she said, I'm going to risk failure. I'm going to go all in. And that's what we have to do with our business. We have to see that everything about this business, that is a roller coaster. It is hard. There's going to be really great celebrations and really, really lots of lows. I mean, it's going to be all over the place. But whenever we're committed, there is no quitting. There is no making excuses. There is no, you know, saying I'm only going to do it every other day or only when I feel good. Making a commitment means that you show up no matter what. And so thank you for sharing that, Marie. That was fantastic. The next thing is that I want you to know is that you've got to be consistent. So if you're committed to your business, to the company, to sharing the products, to you developing, you need to be consistent in that. Consistency without pause, a little every day, just show up. There are so many people that make the mistake in this business of stepping back for a little while, stepping back for a couple of days. A couple of days turns into a week, which turns into a couple of weeks. And then all of a sudden you don't know how to get yourself going again, and you've lost momentum. You've lost, honestly, respect from your family and friends, because now they're questioning, was it not good enough? Why did you quit? Is this just one of those fly-by-nights? So now you've got to rebuild trust, and you've got to rebuild just reputation of being in and out. Consistency, it doesn't take a lot. It takes a little, but it takes showing up every single day. So be consistent. It is through consistent and diligent work coupled with patience and flexibility that you can succeed. So that patience with the things that may go wrong, flexibility in saying I can adjust things if I need to, adjust my hours. Maybe my day didn't quite look like it needed to look, but I'm still going to find some time to be consistent. So finding that you need to pledge to work hard, even when you can't see the harvest. I think that this is one of the hardest pieces, is that We will say, well, I'm posting every day. I'm reaching out to people. I'm doing everything that I should be doing, but we don't see the fruit of our labor, right? But we need, if we're committed, then we are pledging to ourselves, to our team, to our future team, to our customers. We are pledging that we will work hard and be consistent every single day, even if we don't see the harvest right now, because it will come. You plant the seeds, you water it, you nurture it, it will grow. It's the last man standing who ends up winning the race. This is the piece that you need to understand the most. I still remember I started this business in September of 2013. My very first Super Saturday was January. And there was a guy there that was sharing with us. He was a leader that was sharing. I wish I could remember his name. I was so new to everything and really overwhelmed because I was overstimulated by everything going on. But I still remember this. And he said, this time next year, this group of people will be about half of the people here today will be here in 1 year. And 1 year from then, 2 years from today, about half of that people, which would be about a fourth of the people here today, will be there. The ones that will be successful in this business are the ones who stick it out through the good times, through the bad times, through having a harvest, through having a dry season. It's the last man standing who wins the race. I'll never forget that. It's exactly what I needed to hear, because only being 4 months in and having no clue what these last 3.5 years would even look like, it's the one thing that stood out to me that I thought, Melissa, just stay the course, be consistent, show up every single day, because the last man standing wins the race. And you know what? 3.5 years, I'm Emerald. I got Emerald in 2.5 years. I am so thankful that I stuck it out. I still have a ways to go. I still am going for Diamond, and I know that I will get there because I will be the last one standing. I will be consistent. I will show up every day. And that's what I want for you as well. So be passionate. Passion is the fuel that ignites your fire. It's what you need in you to get up and get going every single day. Passion equals limitless potential. If you're passionate about who you are and how God has created you, and you believe that there is a plan and purpose for your life, if you're passionate for this company, for this amazing, amazing compensation plan, for these products that literally, if you will be consistent in taking them, that they will work synergistically over time, and you have seen that in yourself because you've done it well, and you are passionate about sharing that with other people, guys, your potential is limitless, but you got to have that passion. Maintain self-respect. This piece is so important. If you are committed to this business and you being the CEO of your business, you've got to be the best you. You've got to just really dive into growing in personal development and what that looks like. John Maxwell, reading network marketing books like Millionaire by Halftime and Go Pro and Rock Your Network Marketing Business. John Maxwell's 21 Irrefutable Laws and 15 Laws of Growth, and every book he has would be fantastic. Reading things like The 7 Levels of Communications, or What Do You Say When You Talk to Yourself? All of those things, you really do have to make a commitment to doing a little bit every single day. You need to work with integrity. You need to live a life of integrity. You are representing your business. You are representing this company, and you need to have self-respect and work within that integrity. Be confident in who you are And guys, get it done today. The whole saying of I'll do it tomorrow, that type of thinking, it is going to stifle your accomplishments. It is going to shut down your goals. You will never get to where you desire to be. You've got to be proactive, not reactive, and you cannot procrastinate. If you don't do your daily method of operation of doing your power hour today and reaching out to people and following up with people, if you don't do a little bit every single day and you always put it off till tomorrow, all of a sudden you have this huge snowball effect and you're fully overwhelmed and you don't get anything done. It is so easy to do a little bit every single day. And then you need to nurture your relationships. This is a relationship marketing business. You need to know how to make friends. You need to know how to start conversations. You need to be confident in introducing yourself. You need to go back and recultivate relationships that maybe you didn't spend time in. Nurture those relationships. You need to know your team, know your level ones, know those that want this opportunity. You really need to do your best in understanding your customers. And guys, this is one thing that really stands out to me so often is we hear over and over again, and I'm the same, so I'm not saying that I'm outside of this, but so often we say, well, what do I do with my customer, or what do I do with the wholesale ambassador that now that I've got them, they never, ever, ever, like I'm always reaching out to them and they never reply to me? This is my big question. When you got them to even order or to sign up as an ambassador, did you ask the questions? Did you cultivate a relationship? Did you find out why they were even wanting to participate with you, whatever that looked like? Because for a lot of us, we somehow get them to sign or order, but then we can't do anything with them afterwards. But my big question is, if we cultivated that relationship really well in the beginning, if we asked the questions, if we let them know that we wanted to come alongside and work with them, and we asked them to make the commitment with us, would it look different today? And so that's my big question is, are you nurturing relationships and are you doing it well? Yes, we will always have people that go off the radar, but it should be a small percentage, not a large. So maybe think through that and how you're approaching it. And maybe there's some areas of growth that you can do to do that better. So cultivate those relationships with care. You need to encourage, to cheer on, to support. Your team needs to know that you really believe in them and that you know that they've got the potential to be able to do this business and to be able to share this opportunity. You need to kind of just breathe into your team. You need to infuse into them passion, purpose, and vision. And so if those things of me even sharing that, if you question what that looks like, let's talk, or you talk to your upline of really being able just to really spend time with your team, train your team, talk to them on a weekly basis, especially your level ones. And you know, our passion is contagious. So infuse into them that passion of the industry, of the products, of the company, of who they are, and that they're created with purpose, and that there are people that they need to be impacting their lives, okay? So lastly is be a learner. If you are committed to this business and doing it well, you need to be open to hearing what you can do better. Be a learner. Always be a student of the industry, of the business, of leadership. Always be seeking that feedback. You seek feedback from your customers. Ask them how you can do things better. If you lose a customer, don't let that shut you down. Go talk to your customer. What was it that you could do better? Why was it that they stepped away? Did you educate well? Were you following up? Was it that they weren't consistent? Like, really ask the questions so that you can be a better you. Seek out feedback from your upline. How can you do things better? What can you change? What can you adjust to be more successful? Really step into areas of coaching and mentorship. Your success is determined by your decisions, your attitude, and your thinking. So you've got to spend time daily on personal growth. Everything that you are doing is determined off of what you feel, what you think, and your attitude towards the business, towards the company, towards issues that are going on. It's all up to you, and you have the choice. So be a learner in this business. So commitment, I love this. Show up. Even when you don't feel like showing up, you show up every single day. Success is found in the consistency to commit every single day. So I would love to hear a little bit from you. If you have any questions at all, I'm going to turn off our